Hi there, welcome back to Diamond Ridge Studios. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how I paint blue eyes on model horses. Okay, so the first step we're going to do is we are going to paint the whole eye of the model black. I have already done this in this model, so unfortunately I will not be able to show you how I do it, although if you skip ahead to timestamp on the screen, you will be able to see how I do it. You can see there I was just kind of showing you that's how you would do it. You just kind of gently paint on the black paint onto the model in a very simple style, I guess. Okay, so the next step is going to be to paint kind of the white of the horse's eye, although I'm using a pink since that is a little bit more realistic than just having it be white. So I am mixing here some portrait pink and titanium white with a little bit of water to mix it all together and create a nice smooth consistency. So you can see there I'm using the Liquitex Heavy Body Series. I'm adding a little bit of white to my piece of tinfoil, which I use to mix things, and here I'm using a Princeton 1/8 quarter inch angle shader, I believe it is. I'll have the exact thing in the description if you want to purchase exactly what I'm using. And so here I'm just kind of using circular motions to mix the two colors together to create kind of a very, very light, almost white pink color. Now I've got a tiny bit on the tip of the brush, which you can kind of see there how it's like an almost white color. And now we are going to apply this on the model. So start at the very front of the eye, and you're going to pull it backwards very slightly and gently. And the whole idea here is to be as smooth as possible so that you do not have a big thick layer for your first or second layer. And here I'm just gently using slight dabbing motions and adjusting the model as needed to kind of make it easier on yourself. And I'm pulling it about halfway across the eye, as you can see here, and it looks very white, which is kind of what we want. If you want to go for a pinker look, that is completely fine. Just mix it a little bit more with the pink rather than the white. On to step 3. So for step 3, we're going to take the Mars Black and we are going to add a little bit to our tinfoil. I did not quite get it in the shot here, as you can see, and now I'm showing it to you. We're going to be using this black later on, so it's okay if you get a little bit more than you think you'll need. I put a tiny bit on the tip of the brush, and now we are going to paint basically the whole eye black, leaving a small strip of pinkish white where you want the white of the eye to be. So I usually start by like about halfway across the eye so I can slowly push it forward, and then I'm not stuck with too much black or too little black. So you can see I'm using the same kind of dabbing motions, and it's kind of important here to have a nice smooth line in between the black and the white, or whitish pink. As you can see here, there's just a little strip of white, but this will add a lot of expression and character to this horse, especially in the eye. So for step 4, we're going to be taking a light blue color. Here I have the Syrian Blue Hue from the Liquitex Acrylic Colors Basic Series. Really any light color blue. Here I'm showing you what the coloration looks like. It's kind of like a very light sky blue color, and we're going to be mixing it with some Mars Black, so it doesn't need to be the perfect shade because you're going to be mixing it anyways. And this color turned out to be a little bit too dark, so I ended up mixing a completely different set, or not a completely different set, just a little bit lighter blue over on the side. So as you can see, it's kind of like a dark, kind of stormy sky color. As you can see there, and I just put a little on my thumb so you could see the color. And now we are going to cover almost all of the black with this blue color, leaving a tiny strip of black at the front by the by the white of the eye. And just again using dabbing motions. This is supposed to be a pretty thin layer, so don't use too much paint, and you'll be able to see it better in a few minutes. And here I'm just again dabbing very lightly, trying to get the right amount and cover all the black except for that little line. Here I'm showing you how much blue I put on. You can't really see it, but there is another shot coming up pretty soon. There we go, that you can see the blue. Okay, on to step 5. So for step 5, we're going to be taking a very light blue, or you could just mix that blue you had before with some white. And this is the Amsterdam acrylic series. I'm not entirely certain what color it was, but I'm going to take that, and you're just going to use that straight up, and you just want like a very aqua blue color. I'm taking a very tiny amount on the tip. I actually ended up dabbing off some of this, so you will not be needing that much, although if your model is a lot larger, you might. So here I'm just putting it in the very center of that blue that we just did. And as you can see, it kind of makes her look like an alien. And then I'm just here dabbing off some of the blue and just kind of spreading it out a little bit more. The idea here again is to have a very thin layer, but kind of opaque enough that you can see it. And again, I'm just kind of lightly dabbing the brush, and I'm just kind of creating like there's going to be another little layer around of the darker blue color, and that's pretty much it. Just kind of tweaking it to how I would like it, and this is really all preference based. As you can see now, I'm just showing you, you can see there's like still a little black line and a little blue line and the pink line, and it's starting to look a little bit more like a horse eye now. On to step 6. So for step 6, we are going to be taking some black. Again, I use the Mars black, and we are going to create the pupil of the eye. So this is very tricky, and you might need to add another layer of blue over top your pupil if it doesn't turn out quite right. So pretty much you're going to create a very small oval shape and then work it out from there. And pull it out from there, I should say. And as you can see, I'm just kind of lightly putting it on, trying to decide, ooh, is that enough? And you want a very small amount of paint on your brush here, so you can just kind of slowly dip in. And as you can see, I am kind of satisfied with the results. And you can see how she has a pupil now, and there's still some blue around the edges. And now we're going to highlight the eye. This is an entirely optional step, but I kind of like it because it shows the reflection of light in the eye. And so what we're going to do is I took a metallic purple color, then take the little blue, and I'm putting it directly in the center of the pupil, again leaving a very thin line of black around the metallic color. And now I'm taking some of that light blue color we used before, and I'm mixing it with the metallic purple, and this is going to be our highlighter shade. As you can see, it's kind of like a purpley blue color, and we're going to go around the pupil, very careful not to get on the pupil, just kind of dab it on there to create a little bit more texture and character to the pupil and give it a little bit more of a realistic feel. As you can see, and now we are onto the gloss stage. This is where we're going to gloss the eye. Make sure the eye is completely dry before you do this step, otherwise you'll have some paint dragage and that's no fun. And so here I'm just lightly applying the gloss. You're going to want actually a pretty thick layer, so contrary to what I just said, because this will add a lot of dimension and allow your horse to catch the light. So as you can see, I'm dragging kind of maybe, I don't know, 1/4 centimeter thick layer of gloss on here, and you can really see it, and don't worry if it's like slightly blue tinted or kind of a purpley color, because that is just the gloss and then it will dry. And here's the final result.